Hey, I want to talk to you about what makes oil and gas a really investable asset. And it really came home to me. I was listening to a podcast. I wish I could give credit to who said this, but they're in the oil and gas industry, and they used this phrase, and it stuck with me, that oil and gas is the most investable asset class. And it makes an awful lot of sense to me. I think you can make the same argument about other asset classes, but what makes oil and gas investable is really three things. So first is, you know what you're producing. You're absolutely 100% clear on what you're producing. You're not going to be producing anything different than oil and gas and natural gas liquids. So you know exactly what product you're going to make. It's very certain, and you know that people need it. You know that people need gasoline for their cars, they need heating oil to heat their homes. You know they need natural gas to heat their homes. You know they need natural gas to run their data centers now, or their AI-enabled data centers. You know they need it. So you know what product you're going to produce, and you know that people really need that product. It's not just because they've got a fad, that it's a fad, or like a Rubik's Cube. You know, maybe they really want it now and they don't want it in the future. So something like that. So anyway, it's a necessity. And then thirdly, you know what price you're going to sell it at. So this might seem counterintuitive because I hear people talking about commodity risk all the time, but you really know generally what price you're going to sell it at if you have a hedging program in place. So a hedging program basically softens the downside and make sure that you at least meet your operating needs for your company and for your investment. So you really know what price you can get for your oil and gas, and you can do that through like 12 and 24 month programs going out, and you can do that for each of the commodities. So you can do that separately for oil and gas, or for oil, and then you can also do it for gas as well. And basically what you're doing there is you're making a floor at which you will not go below for a certain amount of your volume that you produce from the well. And if you have a bank involved, they're very interested in what's your hedging program, how far are you out, what are the levels at which you're doing that. So you know what you're producing, you know at what price you're producing, and you know what your volumes are. The volumes out of an oil and gas well are very predictable. Once you know in the area that you're working, and maybe this is like the 5th of 20 wells that you're producing in this area, and you know all the analogs around it, you know how much they're going to produce, because that's really how you want to reduce your risk, because you want to be in those areas that are analogous and very similar to what's going on around you. It really reduces your risk in terms of your capital and whatnot. So anyway, so you know how much you're going to produce over time because you've seen what other wells nearby have produced. Are you always going to hit that? No. But once you start to see your production, you can make your forecast out pretty substantially and with good accuracy of how much that well is going to produce. So anyway, it's a very investable asset. Maybe you can make this argument about other asset classes, but these are probably asset classes that you like. These would probably be asset classes that you have a lot of confidence in. And you would say, well, I know exactly what I'm going to sell. I know what price I'm going to get it for. And I know how much of that I'm going to do that, how much I'm going to move. So big retailers would like to have this level of certainty, and many of them do not. So that's why, big box retailers are having trouble, because they just don't know some of these forecasting volumes as well. So anyway, I hope you find this helpful and gives you some confidence and understanding of why there's my confidence in oil and gas as an investable asset. All right, thank you.